Thank you, Christy, and thank you all for allowing me to go through this with you this evening. In financially meeting the challenges of the plan, I'm going to review with you just where we are financially right now and talk a little bit about what Christy alluded to in identifying the resources and the needs that we have in meeting this strategic plan over the next 5 years. We'll talk a little bit about our district revenue, where the money's coming from, how we're getting it, and what percentages of our revenue come from what. We'll talk a little bit about our district expenses, how we've balanced the budget over the last 3 years, and take a look at the complete 5-year forecast and where we're headed in meeting these strategies. If you look at our revenue by type, you'll see that 67% of our revenue comes from local taxes, with 12% coming in state funding. And then 17% now come through rollback and reimbursement. That 17% represents, when you see your tax bill on your homes, represents the discount you get for living in that home. There's about a 12.5% discount that's taken off of the taxes that the state put into place when they implemented the income tax. It also includes reimbursement that the state's making right now for the personal property tax that's being rolled off the books. Through a series of changes in legislation, businesses no longer have to pay for inventory and personal property inside their organization. So over the course of the next 5 years, the state will be making reimbursements to the school districts for taking that tax off the book, but at a discontinuing rate. And I'll show you that here in the next slide. 3% of our revenue comes from interest and local sources, and then we get about another 1% in grants and designated dollars. If you look then at the revenue forecast, you'll see that the current year we're looking at about $34 million, a little bit under that. And over the next 5 years, that revenue is actually decreasing. And the reason that is decreasing, again, as I referenced a minute ago, is that personal property tax is being phased out. And as that's phased out, the state makes a reimbursement, but only at a discounted rate. The red filled in space that you see here represents levies that we currently have on the books, but that will have to be renewed over the course of the next 5 years. So if we do no new taxes, but stick with the taxes that we currently have, our revenue remains about flat.